Ravi Abuvala has generated over $25 million through his sales funnel. But surprisingly, despite the initial success, over the past few months, he's changed his entire approach to what he calls the self-sustaining funnel. And he's claiming it's the best way to turn total strangers into qualified, ready-to-buy sales calls. And it's worked for him so far. It's already increased his profit margins from 34% to over 50%, while also increasing his revenue. You don't hear that very often. This funnel has to be one of the hardest that I've ever had to map, and that's because there's so many moving parts. However, through my digging, I found 6 key strategies that Ravi is deploying that has led to this massive growth. Let's dive into it. So if we look at this funnel from a 30,000 foot view, there's a ton going on, and I'm sure I'm still missing stuff. But as we zoom in throughout this video, you're gonna see there's 2 main things he's doing. Most things lead to these 2 points, and that's his high ticket service and his monthly recurring revenue community. Now, the way he's selling these is very interesting, and it's very complex, and we're gonna get into that in a second. So he gets traffic from tons and tons of places. He has really built a pretty solid organic audience over the past few months. And I think the most interesting thing he's doing here is blending organic and paid. He talks about how he no longer is just looking at money in, money out on Facebook ads and YouTube ads, but rather he's looking at this thing as a whole ecosystem. Somebody may find them on a Facebook ad, not opt in, not even do anything, right? But now they know the name, they go to Google, they search his name, they find his website, they go to his YouTube, they watch 3 videos, and then they book a sales call. So he's starting to see this thing as an ecosystem that is fueling itself, right? And one of the things I found very interesting about how he's getting traffic is how he's using YouTube, because he's posting on it organically. But he also has this kind of ninja type approach to run his YouTube videos as ads on the homepage and the side column, right? So they're called YouTube discovery ads, I believe, where you can literally take your YouTube video, title, thumbnail, description. The only difference is it says ad and in small print, and it looks like a YouTube video that's getting shown as a normal YouTube video, right? So he's doing this, and he says he's getting views for 8 cents. If you compare that to normal ads, that's insanely cheap. So he's growing his audience way faster than it would organically by kind of just fueling it with a little bit of ad spend. So if we look at all of these traffic sources, again, there's tons of them. There's Google ads and Facebook ads, and what's interesting is the organic ones, he is kind of just sending them across tons and tons of funnels. You can see all of these lines here going to these different pages. And some of the ads he's a little bit more particular about, like Google ads, he's only running Google ads, from what I can see, to one opt-in page, right? So he knows kind of where people are in the buyer's journey, but all these other organic channels, he's sending them to more places. So if we look at this, there's 2 main things, again, that I think are the most interesting. One is his high ticket service, and 2 is the MRR community, how he's selling that, because he's selling that in about 15 different ways. So let's first go to this high ticket service. It's called the self-sustaining funnel. Now, before we get into this page, what's interesting is if you come from certain places, he sends you straight to the video page. But if you come from other places, like Google ads, he sends you to the opt-in page. So let's go to the opt-in page first, where you would land if you weren't coming from organic traffic. Like if you went to the website first, or if you went, again, straight from Google ads, you'd come to this page. What is he doing here? Well, it says first, for business owners hungry for predictable revenue growth and healthy profit margins. He's speaking the core desire that this market wants. He's not just saying grow your business. He knows they want predictability and healthy profit margins, right? The second thing I see up here is the EO Fire, ClickFunnels, Fox Business, these badges up here, these logos up here. He's just using that for social proof, right? To add some credibility to what he's saying. Then the headline, license our marketing system that generates 20 sales calls every single day. Okay, 2 big things are going on in this headline. One, this verbiage of license. So the first person I ever saw do this was Alex Hermosi at his old company, Gym Launch. They called their entire business model a licensing model, when most people would call a business like Gym Launch a mastermind or a coaching program or something of that sort. But they reposition it as a licensing model, kind of like a franchise, which raises the perceived value, right? And also kind of adds, it kind of makes it feel like more exclusive and more valuable, right? Than just saying, hey, you can buy my course and go through this training. So that verbiage is very good. It says license our marketing system. Okay, that's a bit proprietary, right? There's some unique aspect to that. It's our marketing system that generates 20 sales calls every single day. Okay, big promise, right? 20 sales calls every day. They're probably thinking, I can't even handle 20 sales calls a day, but if this can give me 5 sales calls a day, that'd be great. And then subheadline, so you can turn total strangers into qualified, ready to buy appointments on autopilot. Okay, so again, total strangers into what they want, ready to buy. No one wants to hop on sales calls with people that are tire kickers. He's selling against that. Call to action is learn more. Then there is a Trustpilot badge. One thing that we've tested recently for a client is we actually added the Trustpilot badge below every single call to action on their landing page because it was a long landing page. And their conversion rate went up by 149.2%, literally just from that. So you can see how big of an effect having more social proof on your page has. So it's very good. He has that here. So it opens up a pop-up here, and this form is very interesting. Watch this. So if I put in my email, the second step is to put in my name, right? So at first I think it's just my email, right? But now it's my name. So I put in my name, and then now they want my phone number. So rather than showing all three at one time, they kind of drip it. That way I'm already a little bit bought in by the time I get to my phone number, which is the hardest to get. So that brings me to the next page, which is the video page. Very good copy in this VSL. He just literally is walking through a Google Doc that I think every word was handcrafted by him, again, speaking to their desires. If you watched my video 2 videos ago on the 7 beliefs every successful funnel uses inside of their funnels, that's exactly what he's doing here. So if we look under this video, again, Trustpilot, more social proof, call to action, book a demo, and it's only for business owners. So they're trying to disqualify people that they don't want to talk to. Then they have some more social proof with really big names. Now, I love this because I think it's really important to use normal social proof, right, like Trustpilot, and if you have it, to use more credible sources. So then I can click book demo call. It's going to take me to the next page where I can book a call on Calendly. So I can grab a time, and then all of the application questions are right here. You know, people have tested this in a ton of different ways, adding the application first on something like Typeform, putting it all in Calendly. This is the system I like to use. It's way simpler, and I'm assuming Ravi has tested it against, you know, doing it on Typeform and doing an application first, and he probably is seeing this works better, which is really interesting. So this is how he's getting leads for this semi done for you offer. And I don't know exactly how much this offer is. I'm assuming, you know, $10,000, maybe $15,000. So this is the bulk of their business. But what's interesting is how he's pivoted his model from this, right? This has always been kind of his bread and butter, these high ticket products. But now he's pivoting to monthly recurring revenue. And of course, we're seeing this all across the market because of Sam Evans and Alex Hormozi and the Skool games and the kind of the proliferation of that. And we're going to get into that in a second. I want to go over one other quick thing that he's doing in the self-sustaining funnel. And that is this thing called a red zone request. So this is really interesting. I haven't heard of somebody doing this, at least at his scale, because it's something that isn't scalable, but it's something that, you know, according to him, is really worth his time. So what happens is if you were to get on a call with their team and not buy, but you were really close, like they knew you just needed that last little push, his sales reps would fill out a form called a red zone request, which sends to Ravi your information, and then Ravi gets on, records a Loom video, you know, it's 2 minutes or whatever, and he'll talk about the problem you're encountering in your business. He'll give you some quick value and send that to you, right? So now you're getting a quick experience and some quick value from Ravi because, you know, he's the one that you're ultimately wanting to work with when you go to Scaling with Systems. And he said that 90% of people that he sends one of those red zone requests to ends up buying. So very interesting stuff. Again, then you're buying that high ticket service. Now this fuels into the next part of the funnel, which is what he calls his MIFGI, the most incredible free gift ever. Now he gets that from Russell Brunson, who launched magnetic marketing again a couple of years ago with a MIFGI. So if we come here and look at this page, this is how he's selling his Skool community, which is a $97 a month community that he has almost 1,000 people in currently. And we're going to show you inside that community and how he's retaining people in a second. So the headline here is most incredible free gift ever, designed to take your business from $0 to $25 million. Same things, right? A lot of curiosity, free gift, big result, $25 million. And then the pre-headline here, discover why 1,290 business owners, okay, social proof, call this never before seen training bundle, curiosity, from 8-figure serial entrepreneur, more social proof, right? And then headline, again, great copy inside of this video. Now, one thing I'm noticing right off the bat is this verbiage of free. And I think on this funnel, if you go to the order form, you have to pay $97 today. And I think the reason he's saying free is because they're giving away a ton of free stuff with it, right? You get all of these bonuses when you buy this and when you join Scaling School. Well, the reason why I even bring this up is because knowing how consumers will interact with this page, they're going to land here, they're going to see free gift, they're going to see all of this, you know, 20 grand for free. They're going to scroll down to the bottom of the page, they're going to go to the order form, they're going to see 97 bucks, they're going to bounce. So I'm not entirely sure. The free might kind of offset that because it gets them to stay in the first place and enough people end up buying that it, you know, makes up for itself. But that is kind of an inconsistency, at least in the consumer's mind, because they're not going to read every single part of this page and understand it. So the bulk of this page is just stacking the offer. Again, great written copy that speaks to their desires, right? Everything we've learned are growing a $25 million business. Stay ahead of the competition. You'll be able to create marketing messages that stand out from the crowd. You get a 77-page email swipe file. Like, there's just so much stuff they're giving you inside of this that people normally would sell for 10 grand, right? And he's saying, hey, it's yours for free. And then he goes over more bonuses, right? More bonuses, stacks the value to over $19,000. He says, get today for free. Again, that verbiage, I feel like it might be hurting conversions, but who knows? Maybe they've tested it. So what's the catch? He goes over this. This is very, very similar to Russell Brunson's magnetic marketing funnel, like almost to the T. He gets down to the bottom, why time is of the essence. They're adding some urgency, adding some scarcity to this funnel. If you think about the way people buy, there's really 3 types of buyers. There's emotional buyers, there's logical buyers, and there's urgency and scarcity driven buyers. So on your page, you want to speak to all 3. And right here, they're speaking to those urgency and scarcity driven buyers. He's talking about how it's a limited time offer. There's 2 things or 3 things that you won't get if you wait to buy Scaling Skool. And then he goes over guarantee. He's removing the risk, right, of working with this. Guarantee number 1 is a 15-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. I love this line. We promise not to give you a hard time. The reason I love that line is because, and I've seen him do this multiple times, in this market, there's all these conditional guarantees, which are great, right? But if you can stand away from the crowd, you can make a better offer by saying, hey, it's not even conditional. Like, if you want your money back, just ask for it back. He pitched I think it was a $40,000 a year mastermind service or something at an event he did a couple years ago that he made $1 million off of in 1 hour. And the offer in that pitch was literally, if in the first 30 days, you don't like this for any reason, shoot us an email. We won't ask you a single question. We'll give you your money back, right? For a $40,000 purchase. That's a great offer because they can get in, they can literally try it for 30 days and just leave. So again, just building more trust. It's the exact same things we talked about in the 7 Beliefs video a couple of weeks ago, right? How can I have such a powerful guarantee? Because I've done it myself, right? All of this stuff you get, just adding value. He's building the $10,000 Ferrari in the driveway, again, that we talked about 2 weeks ago. And the recalling to action, social proof. There's actually not a ton of social proof on this page compared to what I might expect. And then he says, if you're still here, then you must be thinking, is this really for me and my business? He's speaking to the thoughts going on in their head. Dan Kennedy says, great copywriters enter the thoughts already going on in their customers' minds, right? That's exactly what he's doing here. Keep stacking the offer, adds an FAQ, handling objections, more call to actions, and then that's it. I can click here, I can enter my information, and then it takes me to this checkout page where again, it says test drive Scaling Skool risk-free for 15 days and get $20,000 worth of free gifts. And it's $97 a month. He has a couple order bumps, which if I add both of these to my cart, it is a grand total of $221. Call to action there on the bottom, and then another offer stack right here. So this page is pretty good. A lot of noise going on, but pretty solid order form here. Okay, now where this gets really interesting is how he's leading literally everything into this funnel. What do I mean by that? Well, if you join the Member Method webinar, on the next page, you will get offered to join Scaling Skool for $1 for 7 days, right? So this Member Method webinar is about how he built a monthly recurring subscription community and how you can too. And he says, if you want to see mine, you can join it for only $1 for 7 days, right? Takes you to basically the same page I just showed you. The only difference is it's $1 instead of $97. That takes you to a checkout, which takes you to a confirmation page, right? So now you purchase, but then that brings you, of course, into the long monthly recurring cycle of purchase after purchase after purchase after purchase that he is building. Now, that's just one way he's doing this. If you buy the Show Up Rates Secrets and you go to the order form and you purchase that, you're also probably going to get offered the Mifki on there as well. If you join his newsletter, guess what? The next page is the Mifki, right? And you can buy that. All of these things. And if you join his email list in any way, I'm sure all of the emails go to the Mifki. Now, one of the ones I thought was the most surprising, and then we're going to get into how he's actually retaining people inside of the Skool community, because that's arguably more important, is the VIP day. So let me show you this page really quick. This page is for a one-on-one day with Ravi, okay? And there's only 5 spots and apparently 4 spots available. If I enter my information right here on this page, it will take me to the order form where I can pay $20,000 on this order form right now to book this, right? And there might be something on here that says like to speak with his team. Oh, you can message him or speak with his team, but really it's just going straight for the 20K. And he has the same refund policy on this. Like if you don't like it at the end of the day, you can ask for your money back and you'll get it. But it's just funny, literally 20 grand on this page. But what's even funnier is you would think if you paid him 20 grand for one day, like that's it. You can have the MIFG for free, right? You don't have to join Scaling School. But no, they say when you buy this for 20 grand, you get 60 days for free in Scaling School. And then you're put on the monthly recurring subscription automatically unless you cancel. So if you pay him 20 grand, 60 days from now, he's also going to make $97 a month off you, which is just, it's obviously working very, very well, but everything is leading back to that MIFG. Okay, let's look inside of Scaling School to see how he's keeping people inside of this community. Because if the churn inside this community was just, they're in one door and then they're out the next or immediately canceling, this would not be a very profitable school route, right? It would be pretty horrible. And he would plateau extremely quickly because the amount of customers he could add every month would very quickly not be able to keep up with the amount of customers he's losing every month, okay? But I was extremely surprised when I joined this, how well he's doing at retaining people. The first thing you see when you come in is a start here post, okay? And it takes you to the watch the getting started module. When you go there, there's an 18-minute video from Ravi, and he says this is the most important video in this entire training or something like that, right? At the beginning of this. And he talks about basically the product you just bought. Now, the key takeaways in this, the way he structured this is genius, okay? Most people just give away the farm like immediately. The way he did it is like Audible. So if you buy an Audible subscription, you get 1 credit every single month, right? And with Audible, if you ever leave, you get to keep the books. But with Ravi, you get 1 credit every single month for the classroom, right? So I can unlock different classes in here, and you get a bunch like when you first sign up. But if I wanted, the show up right secrets, I would have to use the credit, right? And you only get 1 credit every month, meaning you have to pay $97 for each individual class. That's retaining you. But the big thing is if you ever leave, you lose access to all of it and you got to restart over, right? Which is crazy compared to, something like Audible again, but it's extremely good for retention. Now, the second thing they do is they have leaderboards with points, right? And if you get to certain levels, you get certain things, right? Like you might get a certain course, or you might get I think level 8 was a 1 day with Ravi if you get a bunch of points from people liking your post. But again, if you ever leave, you lose access to this. And then they also have a lot of calls, right? So there's this continual value, like this coaching call, right? And the reason I bring that up is because I think one of the biggest problems with communities that people run into is there's not enough continual value, right? And if there's not enough continual value, people will cancel, right? But if they know next month I'm gonna get new credit and there's this coaching call I wanna get on and they keep adding stuff, right? It keeps people in, and if it's engaged, which it seems pretty engaged. And then canceling, I also like how they have the cancellation form. So it's not in Skool. They process payments inside of ClickFunnels as we saw, and then you come in here. So if I go to the cancel form, this is how I have to cancel. I fill out this jot form right here, enter my name, last name, email, and then it says, are you sure you want to cancel your membership? And it says, I understand I will lose all progress, leaderboard rankings, discounted pricing, credits, and access to the modules, calls, and assets, right? And it kind of says the same thing right up here. So they're just really incentivizing you not to cancel, right? Which is going to help their retention. So that's how he's retaining people inside of Skool and selling his high ticket service. But if we zoom back out, right, and we look at this funnel once again, one of the interesting things that I noticed, an observation I had, is he's doing so much, right? Most people have 5 simple pages that go to 1 simple thing, which I think is a great strategy. You don't need much more. But an interesting piece of this is if you're a competitor to Ravi and you come in here and you want to copy him, it's like good luck, right? Like not only does he have so many funnel pages and so many different things, and this thing leads to that thing, and is all of these, all of these pieces of content, but then there's also probably tons of emails and SMS and appointment setters and all the things on the back end that you can't see. And then not to mention, there's all these things in this program that also you can't see, right? About how he retains and all this stuff. So you have to buy everything in order to see everything. So he has this really good moat of the further they go and the more complexity they add, right? It's harder to scale with complexity, but also is a sort of defense mechanism in this case, right? Again, this thing is crushing it. Obviously, it's pumping out over $1 million a month in revenue. If you enjoyed this video, here's another one that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy as well. I'll see you there.